Hello and welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast, your go-to destination for indie reads. We're your hosts, Anne and Bree, and we would love for you to join us as we journey through all things indie. Here we aim to highlight incredible indie authors, explore new worlds, and introduce you to books you won't find anywhere else. Tune in to find your next read, have a laugh, and share in the joy of finding your home. Hello and welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast, your go-to destination for indie reads. We're your hosts, Bree and Anne, and usually we would say, before we jump into today's episode, what are we reading? But please be aware that we have filmed this episode back-to-back with episode 3. So we are in fact still reading the same things that we were reading probably about an hour ago.
Although it would be a week, technically, when we upload it.
It's a week for you guys, but it's literally been
an hour.
An hour and a half, probably, since we first started. So we are still reading the same things. To refresh, I'm currently got 2 arcs on the go. I'm reading When Fed Arts with Courage by Zoe J. Breyer and Touch by Natalia Jester, and listening to the audiobook of... Hold on.
Song of Chaos?
I don't think so.
Oh no, that's the 4th one. Shadows of something.
The Shadow of Wings by C.C. Davies. And you're reading, to refresh?
I'm currently reading Sea of Evil and Desire by Julie Strelou, and I'm also reading Of Dresses and Dragons by A.J. Dove, and I'm also beta reading for Celia Rock for book 3 in her series, which I'm very excited about.
Which is so exciting. I can't wait to read that. I cannot wait to read that book. Oh my god.
I'm so excited.
I read the first book in a day.
Yeah.
And then I messaged her saying, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? And then I read the second book and I messaged her going, give me book 3. Give me book 3.
Yeah, because I was messaging her while you were sending me, like, updates, and I was like, Bree is gonna hate both of us.
I was lying on the camp stretcher in the lounge when I was reading book 1, and I was reading on my Kindle, and then all of a sudden my dad looks at me. So I had my dad, my mum, and my brother all sitting in the lounge, and my eyes just went, what? And my dad was like, uh-oh, and mum's like, what? Oh, what's that look on your face for? I'm like, I don't know. I need to go back a couple of pages and reread to make sure what just happened.
Yeah.
I was not impressed, and I was sat there going, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I had Abby as well going, oh, give me updates. I'm like, Abby?
Yeah. Because I got the updates from Abby too, which was great. And I was just like evil laughing because I'm like, I've been recommending this book to so many people and putting it on their like 12 Recs by 12 friends. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I am ready to destroy people in 2025. It's been great.
And look, we're 5 months into 2025 and I have been destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Many times.
Yes.
Already, and it's only May.
Yeah. The books have been hitting hard this year.
They really have. But I feel really proud of myself. I managed like 8 books last month.
Nice.
It's been on and off, flagging and not flagging with how many books I do end up reading, and I was very proud of myself. I got to the end of April, I'm like, yes!
Nice.
I've read more books than I anticipated. This is great!
I didn't realise how many I read until I counted, because I was on holiday for like 2 weeks.
Girl,
I read 22 books in April.
You did, mate. I was like, holy shit.
I'm like, how did I read this much? But then it was like, while we were on holiday, we were like doing a bunch of stuff, and then we'd get back to the hotel at like 5, and then we'd just veg out in bed. So I was just reading the whole time, and I was reading like books that were like really fast paced. So I think that I was just flying through them that little bit more because I had like 4 hours before bedtime every night, which was sweet. So yeah, it was good.
That is nice. Anyway, so today's episode 4. I can't believe we're at episode 4 already. When you guys are listening to this, we will be sitting there. We will be a couple more episodes in by the time you actually get this episode. We'll have a couple more under our belts to be posted, which we're still going like, what the fuck? But today's episode, how to support indie authors, both free ways, paid ways, all of it.
Yeah.
We love them. We want more people to be into indie reads. We want more people to support our small authors and get them into the world and everybody reading their books. Like with Celia, you say, hey! It's a really good way to get people reading indie.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I mean, where do we start? There's so many different... I mean, I guess the gateway to indie authors is recommendations.
Yeah, 100%. So, like, listening to podcasts, looking at Bookstagrammers who read a lot of indie. So if you look at both of our Instagram pages, there's a lot of indie books on there. And not dissing on traditionally published authors at all, but it's just... You look at indie author, like a lot of people I think look at indie as, oh, they've had no editors, they've just written this book and posted it online and now people are reading it, and that's not the case. Like there's so many costs that go involved with publishing your own book, with the editing, the book covers, the marketing, paying a book funnel to send out ARCs. Like there's a lot of costs that go into it. So there's just so many different ways that I think that you can support them, whether you have the money to support them or if you just have a spare 5 minutes a day to support them. So yeah, I think this is just a really important episode for us to kind of talk about, because indies need support, because if they're not making money, then there's no reason for them to continue to write.
Stories.
Yeah.
And with traditionally published, they get advertising, they get all of the big things that come with traditional publishing, but indies really do rely on their teams, their little network of people that they do that they build to promote the book, to get people to read, to post about it. It is really important because we want more indies we want their stories. There's a reason why we are so passionate about indie books, is because we read so many of them and gone, this is like, you don't get these stories with traditional publish.
Yeah.
You get,
and you can see
good stuff.
Yeah. And nowadays you can see that there's more indie books being picked up by traditional publishers now than there is actual new authors coming into traditional publishing who've never published before. And I think that just has to do with social media, Book Talk, and Bookstagram, because these people have been screaming from the rooftops about these books that publishers are like, oh, what is this? Like, it's just started this whole new love of books for everyone. And I know that a lot of people, since Book Talk and Bookstagram has kind of blown up, that indie books have kind of gotten them back into that. Back into reading when they haven't done it in so long. So I think it's definitely just important to us. And I think this episode's going to be just us rambling about indie books and why you should read them.
We have no notes. Usually we come prepared with notes. Bullet points. We were just talking about it and we're like, we don't have anything. So it's just going to be a lot of backwards and forwardsing.
Yeah.
Just us yapping like we
why
usually
we love
do.
indie. And why you should love indie and support indie authors, I think, is going to be the main gist of this video episode.
Why you should love
prepare
indie.
For the rambling.
The reason why you should love indie is because you should just love indie. Like, just
you should just love indie. Yeah, there's no valid reason. You just need to love it.
You just need to love it. And hey, if you want a recommendation for any kind of indie book, hey, we know.
Yeah, just message our Instagram or our at Broke Book Girls Pod, or message our personal Instagrams, and we will give you the recommendations.
We've got a lot of them. I'm pretty sure the both of us, we've got our list of indie authors that we're always like, hey, this is who you should read. This is your gateway drug to indie.
Once you start, you'll never go back.
once, honestly, you'll never go back. So I guess my first question is, what was your first indie book that you read?
Oh, good question.
It's a good starting point. What was your gateway into it? They're like, this is it.
The first memory that I have of an indie book that I absolutely fell in love with and kind of fell down the track of reading indie was Cherry Nova by Kelly Marie Pollock. This is still a very small book. Like, not many people know about it, but it is like this gothic vampire story where it's kind of set in Victorian London, where this young girl wakes up in a hotel room and there's a dead body, bloodless, and she's freaking out and she realizes that she's been turned into a vampire. She's got no memories of her past and why she's become a vampire, and we're kind of following her on this story as she meets up with people who are trying to protect her, and she's trying to figure out what's happened to her. The covers definitely leave a little bit to the imagination. They are a bit strange, but her husband did work on those covers, so it's kind of like a duo that they did that. But I really enjoyed the series. It is dark, it is gothic, there's some spice in there, and it was just a fun time that kind of led me into this, like, I kind of did have the preconceived notion that indie books were unedited, like my idea was kind of like Wattpad, but making money. And this was kind of the book that kind of opened up my eyes to being like, oh no, like they're putting so much effort and thought and money into these things that I need to find more. And I did, and here I am today. What about you?
And I have spoken about it before, is the Kindred's Curse saga. So Spark of the Everflame was my gateway. Back in 2020, Penn posted in a book group saying, hey, I'm looking for street team members, this is what my book's about, and I commented saying, this sounds like right up my alley. This was beginning of COVID, so we were very much, trapped inside not doing anything. And I was like, yeah, I'm keen to read. And that was basically my introduction to indie, is through Penn, and then it kind of went down, snowballed from there. It snowballed in a positive way, where I discovered she and a whole lot of other authors are in, like, we call them the Coven, and kind of started reading all of their books, and then it then snowballed further from there, and I branched out of the Coven into other reads. And that was how it started for me, and I think Spark of the Everflame is quite popular now, which is really good to see, because it did start off as a small little indie, and now it's been traditionally published. It's still got indie published, then traditionally published, and it's just amazing to see. We've all been screaming, going, "You need to read this book! You need to read this book!" And it's just another proof of, hey, why we should read indies.
Yeah.
Just to be like, hey, this is what we can do. We can actually really make a difference in the reading world.
Yeah. What would be your first way to support an author? Free or paid, whatever works for you. What would be the first thing that you would do if you came across an indie author that you want to support?
I would buy probably Kindle, buy the book. Yep. That's generally my first step. Because then I can actually read it, and then there are free ways to do it. Sometimes a lot of it is Stuffy Kindle days as well, is a really good way that I've also found. That's another way that I've discovered indie books, is by I've got on the Stuffy Kindle. So I do the free and the unfree version. ARC applications.
Yep.
When people come out saying, hey, I'm a new indie author, I'm looking for ARC readers, and they give you their trope map, you read that through, and then you go, okay, yeah, this is something. That's probably the biggest way, that is the biggest free way for me so far, is that it has been applying for ARCs and then getting the books and then going, oh, look, this is my new favourite author.
Yeah, definitely. I sometimes I get myself in trouble for signing up to too many ARCs and then going, oh shit, I've got like 15 books that I need to read this month. But definitely ARC sign up. And signing up for ARC seems like this big thing, and it's really not. It's literally just filling out a Google form. A lot of the times, authors don't even expect you to have a bookish place where you share your thoughts. They are mainly focused on Amazon reviews and Goodreads reviews. So if you can do that, you'll 99.9% receive an ARC. But again, if you receive an ARC, please do not pirate it, because that is bullshit, and it makes me so mad.
We will
so mad.
We will personally.
That is not supporting indie authors.
We will personally come and find you and beat you with a baseball bat and a book. The author's book. I'm going to beat you with the author's book.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people have ruined ARCs for a lot of authors, because I find a lot of authors now don't do ARCs for their books, which helps, which stops them from getting so many reviews on release day, which kind of bumps up their rankings on Amazon and things like that. So let's not do that. Let's be a good human. Let's apply for an ARC, read it and review it, and not put it on websites. Thank you very much. Because I will find you and beat you with the book.
With the author's book.
With the author's book that you just pirated. So.
And you'll never do it again, because Anne's strong and I'm just scary.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm nicknamed Muscle Mommy in my group chat.
I'm just an ex-psych nurse. I have scared gang members.
Yeah.
I just stand there being like, let's go. Ow, that hurt my knuckles. I'm really soft and fluffy, okay? So, and I agree. ARC applications are such a big way of getting the word out there about books as well. And it is really sad that people have that authors have such, some of them have really negative, what's the word I'm looking for? Experiences, with that happening. Yeah. And it just ruins it for them, because we want them to continue feeling like, hey, I want people to read my book. Yeah. And doing those Amazon reviews, doing those Goodreads reviews goes a long way. Mm-hmm. Because someone recommends a book to you, and then I know my first response is someone recommends a book, I pull up Goodreads to go and find it. Read the blurb, read the reviews. And I know you should never judge a book by its cover, but sometimes those reviews are what make or break in a person's experience with starting a new book entirely. It's like, oh, okay, cool. This is a book read. And I know, just in our conversations, a lot of books have been added to my TBR. So it's not a bad thing. It just means that TBR has been smaller.
Yeah, we're a terrible influence on each other and our TBRs. But that's just a really easy way to do that. Another way to support an indie without putting any money down, without reading their book, would be to follow their Instagram. Sign up for their newsletter. Just simple ways to show that, oh, look, there is people watching what I'm doing. There is people watching what I'm posting, and just interacting with their posts. Even if you can't afford their book right now, that's fine. Share the posts, add it to your story, repost it now that you can do that on Instagram. And just do things like that. And that is just a really good way of supporting them as well.
Show them some love. Show them that, hey, you are, we want your stories. We want to read your books. We want to experience the worlds that you're creating in your head. And I mean, I know for a lot of Bookstagrammers, what we do is we create content to share about certain books. My biggest thing, I make memes.
Which are hilarious, that you need to go on her page and look at the memes.
They're just random memes. My biggest, and it's free. It is free love. It's, you go, hey, I appreciate this book. So here's what's going on in my head when I read these books. And it also helps to make other people want to go, I need to know what this means.
Yeah. Your memes for when Death Calls Life Home were, the best. I was crying with laughter. They were great.
Out of context memes just and I know that has helped me with getting other people to read books is if I make just out of context shit. And like with any book that you see, someone goes, look, this happened in this book, but I'm not going to tell you what actually happened. This is sort of what happened. You go, this will make sense if I read it, won't it? Yeah, well.
Yeah. And then when you read it and you get to that point, the meme pops into your head and it just makes that experience so much better.
Makes so much more sense.
Yeah. 100%.
Another free way that I have really gotten into at the moment is requesting the book at the library. Getting it onto Libby. It's become one of my new favourite things is going into Auckland libraries for New Zealand, as well for Auckland specifically, and then requesting the book to be brought onto Libby, so that way it is more easily accessible, and it's a free way for people to be able to read the book.
Yeah, and it gets more readers.
It does get more readers.
Yeah.
Gets more reviews, gets more people going, hey, I want to know what happens next.
Yeah. And when the libraries buy the book, the author gets a kickback, so they get paid for the book being bought, which is great. And it's also great seeing indie books in libraries. It's just really exciting for me. I love it.
Absolutely. There's been a couple recently where I've been because I know I'd requested them, and I went into Libby and I was like, let's see if they got it. And I went, they've got it now.
Yeah. It just makes it feel more real. I don't know why. Or like even going into the library, like and physically seeing the indie book, is great. Yeah, that's a really good way. I didn't even think about that. I might start doing that as like my weekly task.
And it is literally, it's so easy. You go to the library website and you put in the name, the name of the book, the author, and then it's so easy to do. And it barely takes 5 minutes. Yeah. So I highly recommend it. You can do it when you're waiting for the bus. You can do it while you're sitting on the loo. My favourite one is I'll do it when I'm randomly just standing in the shower, letting myself not be cold. Random things.
That's random.
I'm a little bit random. Hey, look, it's starting to cool down, okay? And the shower's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
It doesn't take a lot of time to just stand there and do it, and it does. Yeah. And like the authors notice. Like they go into their libraries and like, holy shit, my book's there.
Yeah. Another way for me to support authors is like signing up for street teams. So if I've already read from an author and I love an author, if you don't know what a street team is, it's basically a group of people who love an author and their books, and this generally goes for content creators. If you're a content creator, you love this author, you love their book, and you want to help them spread the love about their book. So basically signing up for a street team means that you agree that you're part of the street team, you get the arcs, and you post about their books. And generally, if you love the book, it's not that hard and it's not that much of a commitment to do. So if you look at like probably both of our Instagrams, you'll see that we're constantly recommending certain indie books, and that's most likely because we're in the street team and we're just screaming about it from the rooftops and telling people to read these books. So I'm on the street team for Ray Moody, and so is Bree, and we love talking about Null and Void. I think we've mentioned Null and Void in every single episode of this fucking podcast.
This is
no joke.
And it's getting named. I think there's a couple of books that we are consistently named. Null and Void, we're both in the street team for Zoe. With When Fear Dance with Courage, when the Deities Awaken series, which we have probably name dropped in every episode so far as well.
Same with Celia Rourke and her Shades of Smoke and Shadows. They're like, when someone loves a book that they just constantly talk about it. And being on the street team is you get one-on-one connection with that author that you really love as well, and it's just a really great way to support them because it shows them there is such a solid group of people behind them and supporting them and wishing them the best. And then they don't have to do as much work marketing their book when they've got a group of people that can do it for them. So if you're a content creator and you love an author and they're looking for street team members, sign up.
All you can do is apply, and you literally, when you get the email, it's very much
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! This person noticed me. But
like with Ray Moody when getting into her street. Honestly, I was sitting there, I was at work, and I looked out at my phone and I'm like, is that what I think it is? But no one at work understands. Like, they know I'm a book nerd, but I can't sit there. I was sitting there, we're in the middle of a conversation, I'm staring at my phone like, huh. Okay, cool. I'll panic about this later.
Pretty much. And then messaging Rosie, is this what I think it means?
And then Rosie messaging me going, did you get a thing? And I'm like, yeah. Oh my gosh. Also, another way to really support small authors is Rosie. We love Rosie. You can follow
Rosie.
What is she? Archives of a Fantasy Fanatic?
Fanatic, yeah.
Yeah. She's amazing. She is, and this is the thing with content creators, small, large, everyone in between is, as Anne said, we scream about these books. We help with the advertising. We want people to read them. So you can always be like, if you see a book and you go, oh, yeah, that's it. We've generally tagged the author as well, so it's easy enough for you to be able to find the author. Yeah. But Rosie is amazing.
Oh,
I know she's going to be listening to this because she's excited.
Hi, Rosie.
So, hi, Rosie. We love you so much. I'm going to be sitting there going really pink in the face, like, oh my god.
Yeah, they're talking about me on their podcast. What the heck?
So you should follow Rosie.
Yeah. And just following other creators who love indie, and it will destroy your TBR because you will never have enough time to read all the books that everyone is recommending. But I would say I've read so many books because of Rosie and another one of my friends, Bree, Bookish X Obsession on Instagram. Like, honestly, I did a whole vlog on my YouTube channel where I read Bree's most recommended books, and it was a 3-hour vlog, and I read 27 books in that vlog. And it was the time of my life. A lot of them weren't indie, but a lot of them were. And I just had the best freaking time. It was so fun. So, yeah. But I'm never doing that again. Although, not 27 books, but I am planning a Rosie vlog where I read Rosie's most recommended books, which I'm very excited about. So,
it's so good.
Yeah, I'm so excited. But yeah, another way to support authors would be if you have Kindle Unlimited. Reading on Kindle Unlimited, because every page that you read, they do make a certain amount of money. I know it's not a lot,
but it still counts. And also,
it still counts.
They see how many pages have been read.
Yeah, like authors who are on Kindle Unlimited, they generally will set a goal for themselves on how many reads that they can get within Kindle Unlimited. And I think Kindle Unlimited is a great way. Like, because you pay, it's like $16 a month, and you have access to so many books, which then pays authors for reading their book. And that's how I read a lot of new authors to me. If they're on KU, I will generally pick it up on KU, read it, and then I'll buy a shelf trophy, because I love it that much. And it's just, again, another way to support those authors.
Yeah, no, buying the shelf trophies.
Yeah.
Is a huge way to support those authors because you can buy those books directly from them. I don't use Kindle Unlimited myself. I did for a while. But then at that point, I wasn't reading a lot. I had a lot. I was in the middle of moving and it just wasn't happening. So I don't have Kindle Unlimited. I tend to just directly buy the book and go, this will be fine. And I mean, the good thing is Kindle books aren't that expensive.
No, they're not.
And then you can buy, if you really love it, you can buy the shelf trophy, which is why I got so many books.
Same.
There's a reason why we are the broke book girls.
Yeah, because we spend all our money on books.
Because we spend all our money on...
Which is great, but also not great, because...
It's great for the authors, it's not so great for our bank accounts.
For our banks, yeah.
I also would think another... And I mean, we will also talk about this again in a later date, is book boxes.
Yes.
It's a really good way to discover new authors, ones that you would never really have heard of before. through those book boxes, and you get one of the books in the book box, and then you read the book and you go, oh my gosh, this was great, and then you go and read the rest of the books.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap endeavour.
No.
But it is one of those ones that I think is really good for getting attention to indies.
Yes.
Just any indie.
Definitely.
And I'm a big fan of, I think I've got one book subscription, facial expressions not included in the sound audio of this. And then I've recently got one from the Romantasy realm coming, which I'm really excited about, and it's those indie books that I just love getting new things.
Yeah.
And the books
I would
pretty.
say, another way is going to bookish events and meeting authors.
Absolutely.
So I recently just went to Ages of Pages and I met so many authors. I bought so many books, 22 to be exact. But it was the best time. And just meeting with authors that I was already interacting with. Even if you can't afford to buy the book, you can still buy like little pieces of merch. You can go up and you can have a conversation with the author and be like, oh my god, your books are on my Kindle, I'm obsessed, like I can't wait to read it. Like those authors, yes, they're there to sell their books, but they're also there to make connections with their readers. So even if you don't buy from them, like that's completely fine. They love getting interacted with, and they love when you just go up and go, oh my god, I have your book on my TBR, I'm really excited to read it, I love your content on Instagram, blah 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 blah, that sort of thing. And that's what I did at a lot of there was like 90 authors, and if I had expendable money, like I would absolutely buy from every one of those authors, but I couldn't. But I still had conversations with authors that I recognized, or their book looked really interesting, but I just couldn't buy it at that time. And like taking their business card and taking the little information about their books so you can add them to your TBR is just another really, really great way. Armageddon is the same. There's not as many authors there. There's not that many authors there, but there's still quite a few. And just, they generally are tucked around the whole event.
They're right by Artist Alley.
Yeah. I went to Armageddon last year as well, and it was just a really great time again.
You did?
Yeah. The October one?
So, yeah, Zoe and I were there.
Are you kidding me?
Zoe and I were there all the day, well, except for Friday. We were there Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Rude.
We even met up with Rose. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I was at that one then. I think I was at the June one.
Wintergeddon.
I think I was at the winter one. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. I didn't just get ignored by some of my favorite people. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's fine. I think
no, that's right. I went to the Wintergeddon. Yeah.
I'm going to try and go to Wintergeddon this year as long as my schedule allows, because I want to go and meet the guy from Bones.
Nice. I think I'm going to go to the October one. Spring, yeah.
We will.
I don't know the seasons here. I've lived in Ireland my whole life, and I still get confused by the seasons over here.
I will definitely be at Spring Armageddon.
Yeah.
And Zoe, I think, will be as well. I think Rosie will probably try and be there.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing a big Spawns of Echidna street team meetup again, which will be cool.
That'll be good.
And obviously you and Zoe will be invited because everyone loves you guys.
She's like, we're there.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, because Marley was like, I really want to go to Springgeddon because Zoe's going to be there and it'll be so cool to like meet her and blah, blah. We're like, okay, Marley. He was like fangirling over Zoe.
It's, just love Marley.
It's so cute. I love Marley. Again, I think that's another one that we keep talking about in every episode.
That's another name drop. Marley, if you're listening, we love you.
We love you.
We really love you.
And you too, Athena, of course.
Oh, yeah, no, and Athena too. Definitely Athena. But Marley, right now, we're focusing on you. Oh dear.
What's
else
another way?
I'm sure there's a lot of ways.
I think that's the main ones.
We've got the main ones covered, and I think really it's saying, I mean, I always find it's just saying, like, just being in the author's DMs.
Yeah. Like, just be in the DMs. If you're reading their book and you're like, oh my god, I love this book, DM the author and be like, oh my god, I love your book.
Tell them what's got, like, that you're reading it.
Yeah.
And
tell them where you are in the book. Tell them, I love this scene and why. Like, my DMs are unhinged. I sent a DM to an author with tears streaming down my face going, I hate you.
I think I have started off a DM with, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
It will make their day. Authors are sadists. They love inflicting pain on their readers. So if you can be in their DMs and be like, you have just stabbed me 20 times in the heart, fuck you, they will love it.
Yeah, and then they'll say, are you going to read the next one? It's like, oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
They love the torture. And here's the thing, as the readers, we also love the torture.
We're the masochists. They're the sadists. They inflict the pain. We're just there to take the pain.
Yeah. And we do it with pride every time.
Yeah. I will send you DMs with tears streaming down my face.
Yeah, I will send you a GIF that is just like, oh, why? Why?
Oh, why are you doing this? Yeah.
Well, that's either that. It's either the cat or the weird cat thing going, why? Why? Or it's you remember that Vine where she goes, say hi, and it goes, okay. It's either that one, or please help, I'm under the water.
Or emotional damage.
Yep. Yeah, that generally emotional damage because... And they want to know that they're causing emotional damage.
Yeah.
Because it means they're doing their job.
They have imposter syndrome. Like, if no one's in their DMs telling them about how good their book is, because authors generally do not go and read reviews because they don't want to see bad reviews. So if you're in their DMs, they cannot... Don't be in their DMs if you don't like their book. If you love their book, be in their DMs because it just feeds them with love and joy.
With a bad review, we will come and fight you.
With a book.
With their book. The author's book. Why would you say that?
We're in a fighting mood today. But yeah, if you do anything to hurt authors in any way, we will come and find you.
Yeah.
And we will beat you with that author's book. So you will always remember what you did.
You caused them pain, so we caused you pain. This sounds really violent. We promise we are not actually that violent. We are really lovely people.
Yeah, we really are. We're just in a fighting mood tonight.
We're just very protective of our authors.
Yes. Yeah.
We love them very dearly. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're doing this, is because we want to bring attention to them. We want people to read their books. And this is another really great way to support authors. Listening to podcasts, doing a podcast if you're really into books, like we are, which is still wild.
Starting a Bookstagram or a TikTok talking about books.
Yeah, sharing what you're reading. Yeah. And it all counts. Mm-hmm. Sharing what's on your TBR. Like, it all helps. All of it helps. Anything to bring attention to the authors that you love. And for us, that is, like, we do love our trads, but we are passionate about our indies. And the main thing is that we want to bring attention to these indie authors as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, 100%.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I think we're good there.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any other ways, please feel free to DM us to be like, hey, we will.
You forgot this.
Yeah, and we'll be like, oh yeah, we did. And we'll probably, if anyone DMs us with anything, we'll probably talk about it here because this is what this forum is for. We will discuss things that people have said or people have suggested to us at any time because that's what we're here to do. We're here to bring awareness and to have.
And if you are a content creator and you want to come on and talk about books,
let us know.
Yeah.
I am in the process of developing a Google form for authors, content creators, small businesses, bookish businesses that want to come in and talk about, passion for books, what got them into doing those kind of businesses. I'm in the process of doing a Google form for that, which I will put in our bio at some point. I've made up a link tree. I just need to
amazing
do all that.
Because we want to talk about books with everyone, no matter what type of person you are, author, small business, content creator, because we just all want to scream about books. So
if you love books, we want you.
Yep.
This is like, those old timey where we want you. And they're gonna, we want you once I made up that Google form.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Here come the memes.
And we have a great lineup of author interviews coming that we're very excited about.
It's going to be good. We're not going to tell you who just yet, but we have our first author interview on the 16th of May, where we're going to be recording our interview, and we are really excited.
Very excited.
I've got my Kindle notes at the ready, so I can sit there and be like, okay, so first of all, why? What the fuck? How dare you? Nice dedication, by the way.
Yeah, you should. The Google Doc that we have for that author interview, you should look at like the 2 things that I've added. One of them will make you crack up. It's hilarious.
Hold the line, listeners. There we go. What's it under?
Author interview.
Episode 6. Oh, there we go.
The second one.
Yes. Yeah. That second I think that needs to be a question for all of our authors.
Yes. I think we should have like a specific set of questions that we ask all the authors, but then we also go into
individual. Yeah. So if there's anyone that you guys want us in particular to interview, please tag them in our Instagram, send them our Instagram, because we want to talk to all of the authors. We want to bring so much awareness to books. We want to read all of the books.
Yeah.
I have a couple of emails that I need to send out. We just need to talk about some dates, that way we can book some more author interviews. It's going to be so exciting. So what we'll probably end up doing is alternating between author interviews and then us yapping.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things to yap about, which is great. We might do our own little book club sort of thing. We've got a lot of things kind of planned, don't we?
A lot of things going on, yeah.
It's going to be great.
I'm so excited. I love this already. We haven't even published one yet.
By the time they hear this, it would have been published, and they'll all be sitting there going, wow, these guys know how to yap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do. What's your spark of joy of the week?
So, it's hard going from, like, one episode to the next. Spark of joy this week will probably be back to recording this podcast. It's so much fun. I love it. It brings me so much happiness talking about indie books and just sitting here chatting with you.
Oh, I'm gonna have to second that. It is. I've missed this. I've missed sitting and yapping with you. It definitely is a highlight of the week.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's nice to be back and getting back into a regular
so
rhythm. So
good.
I will say,
so good.
Doing back to back has been interesting.
Yeah.
But
we were supposed to record yesterday, but we had serious technical issues. So
it was not helpful.
No, it wasn't.
But doing twofer, and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled one. Record once a week. Get that underway. So no more technical difficulties for us. I'm saying it now. It's going to be
putting
fine.
It in the universe. Yep.
The universe, if it doesn't play nice, I will go and fight the universe. I have all the confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman t-shirt, so I'm pretty sure I can do it. What is one thing that you would plug?
My plug would be making friends on the internet.
Yeah. But
Because
always stranger danger. It's stranger danger with us. Look at us.
nah, yeah, look at us. We've never met, friends on the internet, and now we're doing a podcast. But yeah, I would say if you are of younger age, be careful on the internet. But if you are a legally consenting adult who can make good decisions, finding a community that really works for you. So the bookish community is a wonderful place, although Threads can be a bit of a cesspool, so be careful with Threads. But being on Instagram is just so much fun. And since I've been back in the bookish community for the last year, I've made so many friends. And just being able to chat on the internet with strangers and then meeting up with them and feeling like they're your fan family is the best.
Absolutely.
So that would be my plug.
I love that. My plug. Oh, jeez. My plug is rearranging your bookshelf. We should all do it. It is so satisfying. Yes, it is stressful when you take all the books off the shelf. But once you get everything organised and put back on, it looks amazing. So my plug is rearrange that bookshelf. Take that time. Rearrange it. Do it. Without any questions. Just if you just start taking them off before you start thinking, it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And then just finish before you get into the middle of it and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? And then just have a fit and walk out, and then you should walk back in the next day and be like, oh yeah, that's what I was doing.
My bookshelf is in my room, so I have to organise it before.
That's a good idea. Mine's in a separate room, so I can just walk out and close the door and forget about it for a day, and then I walk in and I'm like, oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't have much of a choice, but that's fine. My bookshelf is beautiful at the moment. It's nice and organised. There's a lot of books on there. Anything else you want to add for tonight?
No, I think that's it.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure to subscribe so we know you're listening. You can follow us on Instagram at the Broke Book Girls Pod. You can follow me on my personal at Cheese and Reads on Instagram, and same on TikTok, although I don't really use TikTok except for doom scrolling. So you can send me TikToks and I'll watch them. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Runaway Irish Girl on both Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Fabulous. Thank you for joining us tonight, guys. And we hope, tonight for us, I don't know what time this comes out on the day. So whenever you're listening, have a good either rest of your day, a good night, sleep tight, don't let the big bugs bite. Bye.
Bye.